2025 meeting of the Thompson Conservation Commission to order. All right, first item is review of the minutes of the November 17, 2025 regular meeting.
I'll make a motion to be accepted.
Thank you. Would anyone like to second that?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Any extensions? Okay. The minutes are accepted. Item 3, financial matters, budget report, please.
Okay, let's see, this is, the budget from, July 1st through November 26th. The available budget is, the left is $20,245.91. We have used 40.7%.
All right. Yeah, could you repeat that for? Oh, never mind. Okay, never mind. All right. The next item is a vote to renew our Connecticut Audubon annual membership at a $20 senior rate.
I make a motion that we remove the membership.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? All right. We shall renew our Connecticut Audubon membership.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Correspondence. Item A is a document submitted by Norma O'Leary regarding a possible ancient burial ground. I think we kind of took a peek at that last month too. And I'm going to go with item B because that was related, and that is a letter sent to the state archaeologist regarding a possible ancient burial ground. Everyone wants to take a minute to look at that. Thank you, Margaret, for putting that together.
You're welcome.
Hopefully we get a response.
Not yet, and she got it via certified mail.
Discussion regarding either of these items. And we talked about it a little bit last month.
One thing that jumped out at me is that in the pictures that Norma sent us, it looks like there's no trees inside the chain, and there's definitely trees.
The chain is not Kingston, but
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Right. So, and I asked Norma if at this time any tree cut removal was planned, and she said not at this time. But I realize this is all sort of in just in the beginning discussion stages.
Yeah.
Are the sites comparable in size? Because that Burlingame Cemetery looks kind of small.
This one is small too, or as far as what's obviously identifiable as graves is a small area, but we're not allowed to really do a whole lot of disturbing. It's against the law, and so that's one of my questions is how Joe I. Martino and whoever else is involved is going to determine where the chain goes.
No.
He apparently has a ground penetrating radar sled, but the person who knew how to use it unfortunately is deceased, and no one seems to know how to use it. And besides, I think you have to know what you're seeing if you do use it. So
Yeah.
I don't, the NRCS has already said they can't help us unless the project's receiving federal funding, which it's not at this point. So I guess maybe just he'll look at what's obviously a burial ground. I don't know. Do you have any idea how he decides?
I assume he'll work with state people on it. I'm not sure. I think he's quite well aware of how to handle these issues, so I would leave it up to him. I wouldn't question it. We can get more information before they do it, if you like, so we'll know what's going on.
Well, I'm just, it's my nature to ask questions, but I'm not even a commission member, so don't worry too much about what I say or think.
Did you get the email up to the owner?
Not yet.
Okay. Joey Martino said he would take care of it if I got permission from the owner. As soon as he gets written permission from the owner, he'll do it.
I'm sorry, he'll do what? Joe will do what?
Just mark it off.
Yeah, I think we talked last month, and I don't know, by marking it off, would we be drawing attention to it? I wouldn't want,
That's a good question,
I wouldn't
because
want-
there's been vandalism in that area.
yeah, people to start poking around, because all of a sudden they think, oh, well, there's something here.
Yeah.
We've
You
got
know, so,
one similar to that behind Kingsbury's in East Thompson,
mhm,
and that's marked. We've had a survey
mhm,
brochure that was put together by
Yep.
the Historical Society, and
yeah,
they've got that included, so people will know where they are.
mhm.
And there hasn't been any problem there. I just think it should be marked off before someone thinks they want to develop it or.
Right.
Well, it's in a conservation easement area, so it's safe in that sense.
It also has an active trail running right over the graves, which is, I don't know if we should try to, if someone should consider rerouting the trail before we put up the chain. I mean, people walk through there, it seems like on a daily basis.
Yeah,
I tried walking through there a couple weeks ago, as I was up in that area, and there was a tree down across the road before you get to that spot, well before. So we decided not to go any further.
oh, wow,
So I don't know if the tree fell down naturally or whatever.
yeah, probably did. We had that really windy day.
Yeah, we didn't get very far in there with the tree,
Yeah.
decent size.
Was it still, do you think it was still part of the park in that area?
It was on that first stretch of road that you're going right along the water,
Yeah.
before you got to the former picnic table site. You know
Oh,
where that
okay,
was?
yeah, so that's all
Before
town
that, well
property.
before that.
Yeah,
You could actually see back to the parking area.
so DPW should. move
So the
that.
Trails Committee will probably take care of that.
Oh, you think so? Okay,
There was a nice spot to sit with the table and stuff, and that was all.
oh, destroyed, yeah, there was a little,
Destroyed, yeah.
like a little gazebo or.
No,
not
just a
gazebo,
table.
but little-
Yeah.
Yeah, well, years ago, when they first.
Oh, there may
built the
have
park.
been more there.
Yeah, and that got, I think that got burnt down.
It isn't clear to me how all this gets hashed out about wanting to keep it from drawing attention to it
Preserving.
because I was in touch with Joe via email about this until before Norma talked to him, and he felt that there were folks who wouldn't want, if it was of Native American origin, for example, that they wouldn't want the surviving relatives that are on Earth now wouldn't want to draw attention to it. But then after Norma talked to him, he completely changed his mind and wants to make it preserved in public now. So
Yeah,
It's so old that if anybody is related to anybody in there, they probably don't even know.
no,
yeah, we have no idea. It's buried, so.
And these are not.
Well, I'm sure he'll do the research on it.
these aren't typical of Native American burial grounds. They didn't do the headstone
No,
footstone type
no.
of thing.
And as Norma points out in the second page of this, about how thousands and thousands of people were coming through Thompson during the Western migration. And that seems a lot more likely to me than it
Yeah.
being Native American.
I think this is
Or they could have been mixed races, or they could have been slaves. Or
Slaves usually went into unmarked. These are marked graves.
Yeah.
These would be
Right.
white
It
European
would be,
graves.
yeah.
I think that archaeologists could tell us more, but headstone footstones was a European tradition. But these would be white European graves. If this is a grave site, and it sure looks like a grave site, comparing it to the other one. I think marking it off and putting signage of what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, regular cemeteries get vandalized all the time, but that's to smash headstones and,
Yeah.
All for wrong reasons, but
I think
it
we're too
happens.
busy.
This doesn't have that kind of headstone. These are just rocks.
Mhm.
They're put there. There's no names, there's no markings. It's just signifying.
Yeah.
Head, foot.
It would be a good idea that Native American were not in any part of the signage, because that might encourage people to go searching for artifacts.
Yeah, and you could just say pre-revolutionary or, early circa 1600s.
Yeah.
I'm sure the
You don't even
historical,
know. you
Kind
know?
of period,
Yeah.
I'm sure the
unknown.
historical committee is up on how to mark them and how to handle them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I think the chain in the posts is
Sufficient.
yeah, chain and
sufficient, yeah.
signage, so somebody knows why it's chained off. But to go also with somebody said about it's in a conservation easement, nothing lasts forever.
True.
And easements can be bought, and it's harder to buy cemeteries.
Hmm.
Not impossible if you saw these be poltergeists. But it's harder to buy a cemetery. Well, the Worcester Common behind Worcester Town Hall, back in the mid-60s, they renovated and they were going to put in a reflecting pool. And in doing so, they dug up a cemetery that nobody knew was there. But they were marked graves, and they moved all the bodies someplace else except for one small chunk that they left, and they've now preserved it and got the names. But they identified who was in there, and they moved them to another
Wow.
cemetery. So cemeteries do get
It's true.
plowed over, but the more you do to preserve it, the more you prevent that, because otherwise this just looks like hard field, and somebody goes, we want to expand into that, and let's buy our way through the easement.
does somebody need to reach out to the Trails Committee? If we're gonna ask them to take care of the trails, so to speak.
Wouldn't
Find out if they are.
don't they,
It's private property.
I
I thought that
don't
was
they
private.
check
It's owned by Mr. Licameli, but the town owns an easement on a big good portion of it, and I have the map.
Okay,
So as of right now,
because when I brought up the subject with somebody here about the picnic table being destroyed, they said, oh, that's private property, we can't do anything about that. Whether that was just a simply, brush me off or what.
I'm pretty sure that's part of the park, part of the town property.
Yeah.
the map shows what's
I think
town.
That's where the town property ends, is right in that.
I thought it ended like, you're looking at the pond from the parking lot, just on the left, not very far. That's where it ends.
We'd have to look at the map, but I think it,
I was
think
doing
it
a map at the
extends.
time. Did you give it? to me?
I have a map, probably. I have a map in there
Somebody gave me. a map.
if someone wants to look at it tonight.
Yeah. Anyway,
anyway.
This is why I'm asking some questions, because none of it's particularly clear to me either.
Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, I'm so disappointed that the state archaeologist just isn't responding, because I just would like to have it verified.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Neither are that Deborah.
And then I would feel more comfortable saying, okay, let's put up.
verify.
I've reached out to Deborah from the neglected ceremonies,
cemetery.
cemeteries, and I've reached out to
Huh.
SHPO, and the archaeologists, none of them are responding at all.
Maybe they don't know.
Give 'em another
so they
week.
don't know what to tell you.
That's so odd, yeah, but.
They should respond.
They should
Yes.
respond, yeah,
They should respond.
even if they say, I don't know, that's,
Or our resources are too limited.
yeah,
Something.
it's just an acknowledgement.
But what else do they do? I mean,
So they're not there anymore, they were completely eliminated.
Well,
I can't help wondering if there might have been more graves that are under the water now, because knowing that the river was dammed and
Yeah, that's a possibility too. Some of them are underwater because of the dam being built
look at
After-
Quabbin Reservoir.
after that cemetery was created.
or even more right in that area that just aren't marked. You know, because there's a little bit of distance. I'm terrible at estimating distances. There were two little clusters. There was the cluster on the trail, and then there was a cluster that was kind of into the woods. Maybe 15, 20 feet apart, something like that.
I'm sure the
There
historical
could be
society
more
will
in between them, you know?
dig into it and find out,
Oh, don't say dig.
dig into the information.
and the problem of the trail
It
going
would be
right
really
through
nice.
this
Yeah.
is because it's still on private property, even though the town has an easement. Can you get the trail to go around it? Because that could interfere with private property rights.
Yeah.
You might have to let the trail go through it. So yeah, trails should be,
Well, the town created the
discussion.
trail, I think. So
The
that
town what?
the town created the trail.
I mean,
Right.
I guess what I'm
Well,
getting at
the
is,
town- The town cleared the line for the trail.
do we want to
People
put a chain
using-
across the trail in two places? If it's like sort of a circle, people are going to want to go on they're going to have to either go under the chain or over the chain.
right,
Yeah.
or
Go around it.
you chain off a path for the trail.
Yeah.
But the graves, I'm telling you, the graves are right on the path right
Yeah.
now.
Well, I'm sure they'll look into that.
And so it all creates so trails needs to be,
How do we coordinate
Involved.
between all the trails and the Norma and Mr. I Martino and everybody? Or do you have any suggestions?
I'd just reach out to Trails, I guess, Trails Committee. and-
Karen Dry.
Yeah. Yes.
So should there be some kind of meeting amongst trails and cemeteries and us, or
Well, let's get permission first
Yeah,
permission to do what?
to put up,
to mark the cemetery.
Do we need to mention possibly rerouting the trail?
I think first you need to determine if there is a cemetery there before you talk about putting up markers and moving a trail and so on.
So the first question is,
That's the question that's been.
yeah, I mean,
lingering.
although
Is it
it's
or
been
is it
lingering for a
not?
long time.
yeah, it certainly looks like it, yeah, but we don't. it's not-
so the question I should ask Mr. Licameli is, are you still willing to let the town verify that there's a cemetery there? And if so, are you willing to let us put up markers, and I'll just send them this like
Yeah.
this?
It's reasonable.
That's pretty much what I had drafted already, but then
Yeah.
I said, let's wait till we meet. Michael Licameli.
It doesn't, yeah, the property. It's on the letter. You have the letter.
You've got his.
I have his
name and
email
address
and his
stuff.
phone, yep.
Have you met?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything you could use
I have it. That's for that.
when you got this?
I think send a letter to the governor and say, we've been reaching out to the state archaeologists. We want to know if this is a historical,
Sorry.
get the governor to put pressure on the state archaeologists. Couldn't hurt.
Nope.
Yeah. Could be a photo walk.
Yes, publicity. Mhm.
All right. Let's see. Okay, next is the America 250 tree planting project recommendations request from Thompson Recreation Committee. And we have some guests here, right, to discuss that.
Yes, Lynn Davis and Noreen Stellick.
Did everyone?
Yeah, so this is Lynn. This is Lynn. Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
see her.
That's crazy.
You might
I'm
have
on-
to you might have to speak up, Lynn. Our
Okay.
equipment
All right.
isn't very advanced.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep, okay. So I'm Lynn Davis, I'm on Passay Road. And Noreen Stellick is from Woodstock and she's leading the project. So I'm the liaison with Thompson. And I don't know if you guys had received the proposal that we had sent to the Recreation Commission. You guys
We
should
all have it. We all
Okay.
have it.
Great. So really
In
what
your
we were
packet.
looking, does everybody have it? So if you have questions, we can just do I'll have Noreen do a brief just review of that. But what we were really looking for, since we did talk to the Recreation Commission and they were supportive, were any thoughts that you guys might have on if we do choose to move forward, where would we site it? What would be reasonable since we're talking about a very large tree? And how we would go about that process. So Noreen, if you want to just give a brief review of it, is that okay?
They're asking for
Oh.
you to be even louder if you can.
Yep, okay.
Okay. Hi, Noreen Stellick here. So the Quiet Corner Garden Club is wants to plant a white oak in each of the towns in which there's an active member of the club. So that's most of northeastern Connecticut. And Thompson obviously is one of the towns that has a bunch of active members actually. So we were planning to plant it in the spring in April. And it'd be like a 6 or 7 foot tree, a 7-gallon. And we would ensure that it was watered for the first year, which for a native tree is probably all that it's ever going to need, since they don't require particular, they don't have any particular requirements. And the oak was chosen because the white oak is Connecticut's state tree. Although this is not a charter oak descendant, I looked into that, but that seems to be a very difficult thing to get at this point to get. So anyway, so if you have any questions, as Lynn said, the Conservation Committee was supportive, and excuse me, the Parks and
Recreation.
Rec was supportive, and then sent it to you, to this committee, the Conservation Committee, for actual siting. What did they say, Lynn? River Park?
Well, Riverside Park. So
Riverside
yeah,
Park.
we had talked about a number of parks. But I think the only place where we thought that a tree of that size, so you're talking about a tree that could get 100 feet tall, that could live for 150, 200 years. So we were hoping that we could have the tree placed where most people in the town would see it and where it would be able to live it's as long as it possibly could and not be cut down at some point because it got too big for a space. And they thought that that might be the only place. But they were also concerned to make sure that there weren't any issues with wetlands or any issues with any other types of siting issues that you guys might be more aware of. But Riverside Park seemed to be the best place. We don't know where in Riverside Park would be best. I think they were saying that that might be a combination of DOT and wetlands of the town just deciding where it should be, but that was my recommendation as well.
Well, we have a local licensed arborist, Greg Corso, who's a member of the Wetlands Commission, and I mentioned it to him, and he said that he is willing to give some input if he's asked to, and he also offered to help take care of the tree.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And
That'd be
so
great.
he's a real pro, and he's a great person to have on the side of the tree. And so I was hoping maybe the commission would want to talk about going for a walk in the park, or
Yeah.
this commission's often looking for a place to go for a site walk, and it's right across the street from Route 12 from the town hall, so we
Right.
won't get too many ticks on us there right now.
Now's a good time.
I'm sure there's room for a tree there.
The park is rather narrow though at that point, between the river and the railroad tracks. It's not that wide.
Well, right, and I don't think they probably want too many trees around the ball field, but
Right.
the park does extend all the way to that, towards Three Rows and the footbridge across. So we could, the commission could go for a walk and look at it and see what they think. And
Yep.
I could too. I'm a soil scientist and I know quite a bit of, I've studied forestry, so I'm willing to help.
I was thinking actually that spot right as you first turn in, off to the left, it kind of slopes down to the river. It's fairly wide near the bridge and then it gets narrower.
You mean between the gazebo and the,
And the bridge, yeah.
what
Yeah.
worries me about that is that at one time the town had some plantings over there and they all got mowed down by somebody.
Yeah, I know, I planted most of them.
So this is one of the things we have to make all the players in town aware about this
Yeah.
tree so that nobody accidentally thinks it doesn't belong. And I know you're gonna place a plaque. What is the
Yeah.
plaque going to say and what's it made of?
Well, I'm thinking about engraved brick, and it would say something like, it would give the date and depending on like the size and how much we can afford, it would have the date that it was planted, or at least 2026, not the exact date, and then donated by the Quiet Corner Garden Club. And if we end up having a scout troop or some other youth group assist in the planting, then they would be recognized as well.
Is it gonna say something about the 2025?
Yes, it would,
America
right. It was
250.
with America
Yeah.
250, right.
America.
Yeah, but that would be part of the date.
I had a thought after the recreation meeting the other night on the plaque, is you should look into also laser etched metal. Because a block of metal's that not very expensive. If you did stainless steel or aluminum, it wouldn't corrode. If you had more money and went with brass or copper or bronze or something, it would age nicely, but you get a 12 by 12 piece wouldn't be that much. And laser engraving is a very cheap way to go. There's lots of places that do it. I even have friends that do it.
And the material isn't subject to being stolen.
Right.
All right, well,
It doesn't have
Lynn
value.
can
Yeah.
maybe contact you about that, and because we haven't made final decisions about what the plaque is going to look like, so I'm
Yeah.
very open to suggestions.
Engraved bricks
is
can
that-
weather pretty fast. Within about 20 years, they can become illegible,
Yeah.
in my
Ah.
experience.
Yeah.
So is that Dave?
We've
Is
got,
that
hang on a
Dave?
second, please. We've got a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Claudette.
How many trees are we talking about? One tree?
One tree per
One
town.
tree.
How do they have a 200 and some odd?
There's a whole lot of towns.
Yeah, they're talking about 13 towns.
America 250.
They want to put one tree in each of those 13 towns
Okay.
where there are active club members.
Does it have to be a white oak?
It's to
Yeah, it's
It's the
commemorate.
state tree. Yeah,
state
it's the
tree.
It's
state.
the state
That's-
tree.
It's their decision. They're offering it to us.
State tree is a white oak, so.
Yeah, I think walking Riverside Park's a really good idea because gets narrow in some places. And I just think you want to be sure everybody feels comfortable, because what we want, like I said before, is not to have it in a place. And if you're a forester, you know that, where it gets so big, people say, now we got to take it down, in 10 years. We want it to be something people can see for a long time. So I think it's a good idea to take a look at the spot.
Right, I agree. And also, we don't want it to be a place where there might be construction in, 10 or 20 years. Now, obviously, you can't tell what's going to happen in 100 years, but at least we want for the foreseeable future that it's a protected place where there will not be any development by the town.
Right, and I guess the Recreation Department has suggested that the Conservation Commission can make recommendations to the first selectman, and that would be the next step,
The next step.
the hierarchy, and then the Public Works will certainly be involved at some point because they take care of the park.
Right.
And they're the ones that can mow it, so we gotta
Yeah.
make sure they don't.
Right, we would just like it to move so that there's time for to also get the approval by the state, because there's a call before you dig requirement, which I'm sure you're all aware of. And there's probably no utilities in the park, but I have no idea.
There's lamp posts,
There's lighting.
Oh,
There's
well, if
lighting.
there's lampposts, then there's must be maybe underground
There's lighting.
utilities. I don't know.
and they probably also put salt on the road because the cars are there. So that's another thing to think about.
Well,
Yep.
that's something to consider as well, yes.
Yeah, that's why I think walking it makes sense.
Yeah.
Just so everybody's comfortable. So when you make the recommendation to Nick that he, because he's a tree guy too, so we don't want to go and tell the landscapers we picked a bad place.
Forests were just devastated. And wasn't one of their main trees that they attacked?
We're
Was the oak?
Yes, up here, most of the so-called white oaks are not Quercus alba, they're Quercus bicolor, which is swamp white oak. But it's true. I think what Norma O'Leary, one of our members, is bringing up the concern about the spongy moths hurting oak trees.
Well, I think at this point, there's a beetle or a disease for pretty much all of them except for maples, and maybe a few birches. But I think, because it's really geared towards that 250 and the state-based, I'm not sure which other tree we would pick, but I think that the garden club's pretty solidly on the white oak.
I love
Tree.
the idea of the white oak.
I think it would be good.
They are gorgeous trees, and they're sort of in this part of the county. They're not common in the woods
No.
anywhere. I never
Right,
see
and-
them.
And another fact about the white oak is that because of general habitat loss in the Northeast, they're not reproducing themselves naturally. So unless we affirmatively plant them, they're not gonna be proliferating much. So I
Yeah.
think that is in fact another consideration.
Well, I
Good
just
one.
want to point out too that, the garden club is really focused on educational opportunities as well. So while we like to plant things, I think being able to talk about, Noreen, like what you're just talking about, plant health, biodiversity, but also the history of the state, the history of the types of plants that are native to the area, that there's an educational component, which is why we want to include Boy Scouts and other groups. So this is a good teaching opportunity. Here it is there, and it'll be something special and now possibly different than what they're used to running into. So we'd like it to be a, kind of an all-around teaching moment as well.
Absolutely.
I know this as a former biology teacher, but I don't. Are these male and female trees separate? Or are
No,
they,
no.
okay. They're both
So we don't
parts.
need to.
Mhm.
They're hermaphroditic trees.
That
They're self-producing, they're self-reproducing.
means that there's
When would we like to, go for a walk and look at potential sites? What is your timeline for that?
who are you asking?
They can't see.
Were you able?
If
to
we
get
if we did this walk in the next month, would that be enough time for you to? I mean, I would say we definitely want the tree. We just got to come up with a a few spots in there that we think are suitable. And so if we give you an answer, if we present something to the selectmen after this meeting, before the next meeting, well,
So-
if we, there's a month enough time to help us pick out the spot. Because, it is the holidays right now.
So I think David, you said the other day that, you said on the Park and Rec meeting that the next selectmen meeting is January 6th. So does it need to go to the whole selectmen group, or does it just need to go to the first selectman? I'm assuming the whole group, right?
We're not sure.
Okay, because if so, because what Noreen had said, I think originally on at the other meeting, is that she's looking to be able to make a decision about buying them by the 22nd of January. Was that it, Noreen? Because she has to
Well, I
order
don't know
them.
if that's the exact date. That's our committee meeting, but it's
Yeah.
towards the end of the latter half of January is when the plant list is coming out from the Nasami Farms, which is where I'm planning to get them.
I think you can count on buying the tree, and we'll
Okay,
just
we
try to
just-
help figure out the ideal spot.
Okay.
Okay, all
Okay,
right, well, that sounds
that's
fine.
important. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And-
Probably ask the first selectman if this has to go to the whole selectmen. Commission.
Yeah, we should find out what their process is.
I know
just
what
so
their
we know
process
the
is.
timelines.
Okay, so Dave Clark is suggesting that we ask the first selectman if our recommendation needs to go before the whole commission or just him.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
So
so
what-
the
what-
towns all handle it differently because like in Woodstock and in I can't remember one other town, the first selectman just sort of signed off. But in other towns, it's been the board. So
What was that?
We thought that an arboretum.
Woodstock does have an arboretum. I love it.
If there's a complicated way to do it, Thompson will do that.
I know, that's what.
well, you actually are the first to give me 3 committees to go through.
I
I
told you.
I tried explaining it to her, but I don't think it's really easy for me to explain it either.
Look up bureaucracy in the dictionary. It says Thompson, Connecticut.
I know. We're the Wild West. We're the Wild West. Norma, can't you do something? Can't you like put in a word somewhere, get something done? You're a good person for getting things done.
Great, all right.
No,
No, I can't imagine they would.
but we do have, this could require a whole town meeting where people have to vote by a 2/3 majority.
Well, So, so we could get a tree and we're going to plant it in April. So if you could decide between now and April where to put it, we could,
Right.
we could do it. It's a
Okay.
free
I think we
tree.
can do that.
But nobody can visit it there.
I mean, if worst comes to worst, they have to put it in the ground.
I
Yeah.
think it sounds like a case where we can sort of make up a memo and show the first selectman where where we're suggesting they put the tree and take it from there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With the help of our arborist.
the help of the arborist.
I'm trying, yeah, he's kind of all over the place right now, but he's willing to participate. And so,
He may go on a walk. He can do it on his own, actually.
Can make some suggestions.
He makes some
he's
suggestions.
got a couple little kids and he's running a business and he's kind of busy, but I'll let him know that we met with the garden club tonight and that we've got a timeline and that if he could, are you folks thinking of doing a site walk or are you just gonna?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me know when the
I'd like to.
sidewalk is, if I'm available. If I'm not
Yeah.
called into work, I'll go.
You want to schedule that now?
We can if you like.
There's gonna schedule this.
He gave it Wednesday.
It's a warmer one than today.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Supposed to be warm on Friday, but raining.
Raining.
It's gonna rain.
It's gonna rain.
What are you thinking?
Thursday.
next week's Christmas, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thursday's gonna warm up and the warmest time will be at midnight, late that night.
So midnight walk in the park.
Okay,
It's not full.
Well, she said they're not gonna
No,
wait till April, so
we'll do it on,
we don't have to do the site walk immediately.
Thursday afternoon I can do this week. Can't do morning.
Who else can go on Thursday afternoon?
I don't see any reason why I can't.
1 o'clock?
unfortunately, I have a
1 o'clock?
meeting at 1
Huh?
o'clock, I can't do it. Sorry, I said,
Meet at the gazebo?
She can't,
I
Well,
can't
she
do it
can't.
at 1.
Judy can't.
Okay.
Can either of you do it Thursday
Only thing I
afternoon?
have on Thursday.
probably. I'd just soon wait for another week till it gets warmer or something, instead of this way.
Well, in another week, we could have 6 inches of snow or ice on the ground too. Just because you wait a week, it's December, it isn't getting warmer right now, it's getting colder.
Right.
Okay,
I don't know.
Warm
My
till March.
weather app says about 47 degrees on Thursday, which isn't too bad if it's not windy.
Practically tropical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Compared to today.
so we've got Claudette, Dave, I can do it, I believe. What time could you do?
Anytime but 1.
2?
I can do 2.
Can you folks do 2?
2 o'clock? Yeah.
Meet at gazebo?
Is it okay if I come?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right.
I would wanna, well, whatever, I don't think I have anything on my calendar. That's the 18th at 2 o'clock at the gazebo.
Yeah.
I'll see if Greg,
We have a referendum on Thursday. That's correct.
So you come down here and then you go vote.
And go home.
Oh, there you
Or go
go.
home and then go
Well,
come here.
Do you have to work?
Fire.
No.
that and letting the fire marshal issue citations.
The citation, the fire district and the fire ordinance, burning ordinance.
Okay, well, it sounds like a plan and thank you both very much for your kind offer and looking forward to meeting you and getting this
Yep.
beautiful tree in the ground.
All right. Thank you very
Okay.
much for hearing us
Thanks,
out.
guys.
Okay,
Okay.
bye
I'm
now.
leaving. Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Will we have to set up a special meeting? So this is not just a walk.
I will post an agenda. Cause I know that it has to be done. It's
Yeah.
not hard to do. So I will prepare an agenda and send it to you.
Another meeting. I'll probably
It's
do
an
an hour.
action item. It'll go on the website.
Bye.
Who knows? Someone else might want to go. Make an agenda and send to Gloria.
We might.
Think I should tell Joe Tasek,
Who?
the highway super, Public Works, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could. Yeah. First selectman. See if he wants to-
Gloria is saying that it's hard for her to do the minutes when we've got conversations going on,
Sorry.
because she has to listen to a
He's
recording.
off.
Yeah, but you can't hear.
But we don't need minutes in such detail, do we?
Not in such detail, no, but I'll take minutes, or one of us will, and then we'll go over those minutes at the next meeting. Good point.
No, what I'm saying is we don't. Even our meetings that we have, I'm off the subject, but
Yeah, well, we just treat it like a typical site walk where, I don't know, we're kind of out there for orientation purposes. And then we can save any detailed discussion
As far as I can tell,
our regular meeting.
from looking at the topography around here with this big ridge up behind us, this was all mined a long, long time ago. It's not like we're down there on virgin soil or that was the natural existing
Oh, no, it's
topography. It was mined a long, long time ago. So it's, and I looked up already about soil requirements for Quercus alba, and they're pretty general. So it's not a floodplain species. It's found in upper terraces and floodplains, but this hasn't flooded since 1955, so it should be okay there.
Well, become,
Okay.
I might be a couple minutes late,
Okay, you can find us.
but I'll be able to.
Yeah, it's not that big a park.
I'll bring up this.
Shoot.
All right, you ready to move on? All right, agent report.
Well,
It's exciting.
in your packets, I think there's an inspection report. And I went out to 120 Town Farm Road, which is this subdivision that you're being invited to comment on later on tonight, and there are no wetlands there. It is next to the piece of Wyndham Land Trust property that's important because it's the Robbins Preserve. And there is natural diversity database mapped habitat on that preserve, and it's permanently protected open space. And there are trails open to the public on the Wyndham Land Trust property. So I've got a handout when we get to that on the agenda to show you about where this subdivision is relative to the Robbins Preserve.
All right.
That's about it. It's just a 2-lot subdivision, and
It's on the agenda, yes,
Yeah.
we can wait till we get to that point. If you like,
I've got the plans. We can look at that.
anything else, or we ready to move on?
Move on.
Okay, old business, Bluebird houses.
I'm hoping to get started right after the Christmas nonsense on the roof that I got from last year. Life has a funny way of tripping me, but every time I go down cellar, I look at the pile of wood that's in my way, and I go, if we made birdhouses, that'd be gone. So, that's my incentive.
Well, do you want to create kind of an assembly line? If you cut everything, someone could put them together, or?
You don't want 2 people in my basement that somebody would have to leave the room to change their mind.
Okay.
It's quite fun. Once I've got it going, I've got 3 different setups, 3 different machines. So it's like cut everything to width, cut everything to size, drill everything,
Okay,
nail it together with it. It doesn't take me long to make them. It's just blocking out a day.
well, that's the key thing, isn't it? The inertia.
Yeah.
Manifest it.
Okay,
And Bernie said it's important, and you probably know this, to put the rough side of the wood inside. It helps the nestlings scrabble out when they're ready.
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have thought of that.
Is Bernie able to do any or willing to do any?
Oh, he's still doing it, as far as I know.
Or the other thing to do is to cut roofs on the inside,
Right.
which you can also do, cut small roofs and they can climb up.
Wow.
What did you say?
As far as I know, Bernie's still doing bluebird houses, and I haven't really tried to solicit anybody else. I wasn't sure if we should. We could somehow use the website, I suppose, or otherwise get the word out there, but I'm not sure what's been done in the past about this.
I
We
think
haven't had
Bernie
any
was just kind of, yeah.
I thought we had 3 people in front of me, Bernie. I thought there was one other person.
Still Wheeler's husband.
Oh, yeah. And he can't do it.
Right, so we could use one more person, I suppose.
I mean, the more people you got, the more burdens.
Should we try it by word of mouth, or?
Yes.
That's how I ended up doing it.
Anybody know? Yeah, anybody.
I'll check with
might
the
help.
agency, right, Mueller, to see if he has an interest or is available to.
Ray Wheeler? He already said he can't do it anymore.
I know, but That was when Sue was alive, right?
I think it was after,
I think it was. Well, anyway, I talked to him, so I'll ask him on the side.
I thought it was pretty sure you were equipment.
Pardon?
I said it was eyesight. It's like,
Oh, that's true.
Be using machinery.
Okay, change my mind.
Let's see.
Wait, you're supposed to look when you cut stuff?
He's unable to drive to the eyesight.
oh, that's too bad. Well, I guess we can mention it around town hall and see if anybody volunteers, anybody or knows someone.
Maybe somebody from the highway department?
Boy Scouts.
You know what?
Yeah,
That guy that lives on Main Street that does a lot of woodwork.
who's this?
I don't know what his name is. I just know he works for the highway department.
Can you check it out?
I don't know where to start.
He lives on Main Street. You know where he lives?
Well, right across the street from the library. Well, not right across, next to the library and across the street. I don't know,
Phelps?
there's,
You talking about Alan Rivers?
yes, I think
He's got a full-time job doing yard work for people.
oh, does he?
Oh, yeah, because he
Oh.
does yard work for me. He does all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just know he built that garage.
Yeah.
And he seems very handy.
Yeah, he is very handy.
I'm totally blanking on his name. Who's the wood dealer who sells
On Roberts Road.
on Rollins Road? What's his name?
Barrett.
Barrett. A lot of
Barrett
people
Day?
go in there buying, that are woodworkers, it's right by my Hardwick.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe approach them and see if you could even put a sign up, anybody interested in making birdhouses.
Okay,
They must have a lot of sparrows.
yes, and
It's all hard to do. But
No.
we'll always do some
Wrong
hard
kind of
work.
wood.
Hmm?
They
Well,
have the wrong
It's,
kind of wood.
it's not so much getting the wood from him. We get the wood elsewhere, but woodworkers go in there. And if they had a sign up,
Yeah,
for
that's
volunteers to
true.
make birdhouses, wood provided, somebody might say, oh, I'll do that. I'll make
Yeah.
some birdhouses.
Yeah.
You know, it's worth a thought. I'm just trying to think of places that people that make stuff out of wood go and put up some signage here. And
Go to Lowe's.
You know, if you put an ad in the shopper's guide and what you want or what you're trying to get rid of is free, the ad is free. So we can also say,
yeah, Shoppers Guide is another place.
does it have to be a Thompson resident?
Doesn't have to be.
Volunteers to make bluebird houses. The only thing is you want somebody who doesn't need a whole lot of supervision, of course.
I think,
Experienced woodworkers.
Yeah,
I think we
and the
do
wood is
fine,
provided.
I think we do fine with word of mouth. I don't think we need to,
Yeah,
Okay.
you're only looking for one or two more people.
Yeah.
I like the idea of approaching the Barretts. I haven't been there since I started working here, and I would like to say hello. I mean, I've talked to one of the sons, but I haven't
you know,
set foot over there.
Yeah, I'm just thinking woodworkers go in there to buy stuff, so.
Yeah.
And it's the wrong kind of wood, but.
Some of them are retired and have time for such.
would you like for me to speak
Activities.
to Ben, or did you wish to go?
Oh, you feel free.
Okay.
We never say no.
Yeah, I was just tossing out an idea of where you might find somebody.
Good idea.
Will you put us something together if you said,
Sure. You mean like the paper sign?
Yeah.
Sure.
let me ask him first.
Okay. I could even put a sign up here.
Yeah.
Or on, like I said, on the website, but we'll start with word of mouth, as Norma said.
Yeah, put something on the website would hurt.
That's great. Just to have them available in the spring. People can put them-
Do they teach shop at school?
I don't think the school's got a wood shop. They certainly do down at.
Always does, yeah.
Um,
So let's see
this
how,
one should have-
if we don't make out, then we could contact him.
Sure.
Be a big Boy Scout project too.
Mm.
Or Girl Scout.
I just think it's.
4-H.
It's still probably Boy Scouts.
Well, now it's called Scouting America. Boy Scouts are all gone.
Well, the Girl Scouts still exist and then they're scouting. And Girl Scouts have the cookies, so I don't want them to ever go away.
Be honest about what that is. It's wonderful.
Straight out there. I'm too old to worry anymore.
All righty, we ready for new business? Item A is, is that DEC 2546, Gregory Lockwood, 120, Watertown Farm Road, map 154, block 7, lot 17, 2-lot subdivision, no wetlands on the site.
Norma, there's a handout in a map for you and Carol to look at. The handout has info about the Robbins Preserve. And if the three of you don't mind sharing this map and this.
Not at all.
Thank
Thank you.
It doesn't depend on where it's, we could recommend open space or free and low, because that's not gonna have 4 lots or more.
Yeah, because you got down there.
I got one.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is about as small as a subdivision can be. But it's next to a very sensitive place. Thinking about going where it is.
Yeah, on both sides of the river.
That's what it comes from. Here's new Fred Davis Road.
Mhm.
And
Let's go over there. She's going to explain it.
here's New Road. That's New Road. And this shows that it's got NDDB habitat.
Can you speak a little louder?
Oh, sure. Oh, and this shows the trails in the Robbins Preserve. And back here, it talks about all the rare species on the Robbins Preserve. There are no wetlands on this subdivision.
This is the wind is waiting for us.
Yeah, and that's got the cross hatching is natural diversity database habitat. So there's an endangered sedge there. And on the last page of that handout, it goes into, there's the trails on the Robbins Preserve. And on the last page, it goes into details about the rare animals, birds and plants and everything. Blue spotted salamander, whippoorwills,
Who is coming now?
Greg Mountford.
The only.
And it's very, very small. He's really just splitting a lot. And it's high and dry.
On the west side of,
Yes,
so it's all woods.
it's all wooded with evergreens like hemlocks. There's photos there. Norma's got her arm on the photos I took.
Yeah, this is what it looks like.
Oh. Looks like some dead food. Well, out there, it's kind of exciting.
So he's gonna put 2 houses, is that what it sounds like?
So, yeah.
Well, if you open up that map, you can see. I think there is a house there already.
Oh, okay.
They call it a 2-lot subdivision because they're making 2 lots out of one, but I think one might already have a house on it. And he sold 1 lot to someone, a Davis family member. He sold one of the houses there to a Davis family member. Oh,
That's
But it's just across the road from that little house, right? On the north side of.
this is on the corner. This is on the corner of Fred Davis Road.
Okay, yeah.
You can see Fred Davis Road on that plan there. So Robbins Preserve is to the. No, it's right there. Yep, that's it. That's the Robbins Preserve.
So there's one house that's already on the property? is
Right.
that- Okay, and so he's just gonna split it and build it.
Right.
Okay,
Oh,
all right.
okay.
But it's still-
And because there are no wetlands there, there's no entity to do any enforcement regarding NDDB habitat.
Isn't that a former gravel pit?
Yes,
Where the house is, some weird guy's name, I didn't think of his name, because Peter lived across the street from there.
really?
Yes. And his daughter still lives there.
Oh,
Their house is practically on the road. I mean,
Right.
About 10 feet between the front and the door.
Who lives across the street?
Road.
her husband's daughter,
Yeah.
Pete Lopriori's daughter. It usually says now or formerly so and so, but if it's across the road, maybe it doesn't say that. I don't know if I should be bringing all the subdivisions to you or just the ones that have more than 4 lots.
Yeah.
Um,
At least this lets you be aware of that it's going on though.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no wetlands on the site, so
Yeah,
there's no,
and no cemetery, so you,
and as far as we know.
That we
right?
know of.
And I don't think any of the endangered species,
No,
Are
there
there,
was a
likely to
cemetery
be
get
on-
knocked away when they did the gravel operation.
whippoorwills or grassland birds.
and
Variable
the sedge grows
I
in,
know where the
but-
sedge is.
okay, and then there's
The-
blue spotted salamanders, but those are in the vernal pool somewhere.
Yeah, those are further back. And
Christopher Dustin's never been there to this site. My wetlands
the
chairman.
lupin is right, it's lupin that is the host plant for the, no, not lupin,
So this must be the house.
the host
Stand
plant
now.
for butterflies.
And this is the proposed house.
Yeah.
It's
So-
on the list of plants is on the last page of that handout that Gloria's got. Is it a lupin?
It's not a lupin, it's, wild.
Oh,
I had the blue right.
okay.
I just
So
had the
this
wrong
is,
plant.
in, so Max.
Yeah, so I don't see any,
Behind.
Prairie
Yeah.
warbler.
You know, I've been reading the
Great
map.
horn, the pine warbler, might not like it.
You read Mass Wildlife?
No.
They've just some recent great big habitat restorations, and if you cut down a lot of trees and bring back the plants like the little blue stem, all
Mhm.
these rare insects they just show up.
Yeah, it's
when the
amazing.
plants
isn't it?
reappear. They had some stunning photographs in the Mass Wildlife. You should just look at it online, Judy. And it's only $8 for 4 issues a year.
it's like, when I look at what happened at Yellowstone Park when they reintroduced the wolves.
Oh,
And
gosh.
everything came back.
Yeah, that was amazing. wasn't
It's
it?
like in record time. It's like, whoa,
Because the elk were eating everything.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those kept you under control and. everything kind
It's
of-
amazing what nature does when people don't get it. Or try to help them.
Um. Oh, I was thinking about vernal pools, sorry. I know we documented some vernal pools on the site, but they were on the preserve, not
Yeah,
on the neighbor site.
yeah, so
So,
I don't think there's much to say about this one, but
no, I don't think there is either.
it was a recent gravel operation. It's not,
It's
Yeah, already been-
you know what was nice about this one though is that they maintained the separation from the water table, unlike what happened at 659 Main Street up behind the old Grosvenordale Post Office where no one was watching what was going on and they intercepted the water table, and now it makes it extremely difficult for anyone to do anything with that piece of property.
Yeah, yeah, they did that up on Indian Inn Road too.
yeah.
Created a wetland,
On where?
Indian Inn Road. where
Oh, is that
Webster
right?
Mine-
Oh, was that Leo? A Leo
Yeah,
site?
probably. I don't know, it was years ago. All right, yeah, I guess.
I gotta gather
we
back
don't
those
have
big
to-
maps. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Other than to
Just to let you know what's going on.
be aware of the endangered species and take appropriate precautions. But that, I guess, would be more than zoning, because wetlands doesn't
Nobody say.
Say that.
But they need the guy that built the houses on Buckley Hill. Yeah,
He's gonna be doing some on Lawson Ave. I think you went somewhere in Aquatic.
and I think he owns some property right on, Route 200.
Probably.
Montford,
Yeah,
Mountford.
fairly close to the,
bits and pieces
American
all over
Legion.
town.
across the American Legion.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't he own that property?
Yeah, and he owns a lot of property, not, well, up by, you know, Teague, from Teague all the way to where you're talking about.
Mhm.
And it's zoned 5,000 square foot lots. It's gonna be a lot of houses in there and
Yeah.
cheek to jowl,
And what?
cheek by jowl, 5,000 square foot lots. What do you do when they go on a swimming pool or a shed?
The lady who lives on BD Road, is it? That little road? She walks by my house. I say hi to her and we start talking. And she said she didn't realize when she bought that house that there was the potential for houses being built on that property and that they would be like no further than from me to you,
Right.
apart. She was not happy.
Oh, let me see.
On
It's
the other
the
hand,
high density.
the house on the corner of Marola Road, not the one with the antique car, but the one next to it. When they were digging the hole for the foundation, they ran into a boulder with the size of a Volkswagen. And all they did was they filled in the hole and put the house somewhere else. So there may be a lot of rock in there that would intercept his plans. Who knows?
I flagged it all a long time ago.
Oh, right, we're ready to move along?
Yep.
Next item is possible conservation commission activities. So we had talked last month or maybe the month before about things that we can do as a commission.
Well, we lined him up, look for a tree spot.
We did, indeed, also. Brick houses. Our bylaws in Article 4 also list the powers and duties of the commission. I had another list that sort of broke that down. A little friendlier. And I could not find it. I will keep looking for it. But
Well, you serve in an
a couple of
advisory.
years ago, I'm sorry, we had talked about this, and so that was where I created this list from that I had Margaret share with everybody. These were things that I kind of threw out during the brainstorming session.
Where's the list?
Had to be a couple.
It's in your handout, the one page. Potential Conservation Commission activities. I think that might be this page that's upside down right there, no? Carol's got one.
Okay.
What are you thinking, but when you say MS4 outreach?
Well, just working with the highway department and kind of taking on the outreach aspect of the MS4 requirements. So these are the requirements that are stated in the permit. So, encouraging people to engage in activities on their properties that won't be contributing to pollution. Certainly townwide, but especially along the MS4 areas, really along the Route 12 corridor here in North Grosvenor. So encouraging things like, I don't know, rain gardens, rain barrels, don't fertilize before it rains. It's wide scale, don't do it. I don't know, activities like that. Or that would be even better. Pick up after your dog. I'm trying to think of what some of the typical.
Well, I can tell you something they did in Spencer, which I thought was amazing. It's not on their private property though, but they took stencils and at every catch basin in the central part with needed MS4 the most, they stenciled no dumping, everything in here goes into Long Island Sound.
Yeah,
And so I just thought every kid in town saw that.
yeah, we could do something like that, you know, no dumping drains to French River or something like that.
They have a little movie too that has little ducks, and the
Yes.
little ducks all wind up. You see the
I
one
love
duck
that.
landing up here and one here, and then when you see them all at the bottom,
I think
Worcester
Connecticut,
does that too. There's several that say, don't dump anything here. This goes into Lake Quinsigamon.
Right.
yeah,
no, that poor lake has its problems. Fish kills.
yeah, it really does.
I like the idea of stenciling on around catch basins for some reason.
I saw that email that you had sent, about was it the grant, that Tira is applying for?
Yeah, tomorrow Tara and Janet are applying for a grant for green infrastructure,
Yeah,
which includes putting a green roof on. If you go up around the backside of this building, there's a big flat roof, and she wants to put a green roof on there. Make a rain garden in the big patch of barberry at the library.
yeah. I was wondering, I sent you an email and then I looked and I saw that it was the very end of the day and you probably never even saw it.
No,
I was wondering if we wanted to play that, that PowerPoint for the commissioners, just to give them an idea of what they were.
I'm
This
not
is
sure.
a-
I'm not sure if I could do it while the Zoom meeting's going on. I'm not sure how to do that.
Okay,
I'm sharing my
you
screen.
Share it,
Do you know how? Because I have never done it.
give it a try.
You'll-
You can just
It's in an email right now.
navigate to email.
Can you come over here for a second? Will this meeting just keep going if I
Yeah.
go over here and open up a window
Mhm.
or go to here? The
Yep,
meeting will
yep,
just keep
It
going?
will, yeah,
I don't have to hit share first?
not yet, no.
Oh, that's not where it is. It's in an email.
The North Grosvenor Mill District, yeah.
This thing for the kids from Yukon?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to share?
Nope, it's up.
Okay.
So, all right, so this is a program, I thought you'd find this really interesting. This is a program that they offer at UConn for the students. It's like a class or a series of classes that they take.
We got to get you guys to please stop talking
And,
for our recording
And,
secretary.
and part of what the students are required to do, I think in probably the third and final class of the series of classes, is to work with a town to identify opportunities to install stormwater practices. So, Margaret, I'm going to kind of click through there slide by slide. So this is a presentation that the students must have done.
These are students from Yukon.
Planning and zoning maybe, or just for the planner, I'm not sure. So those are the two students.
Well, you know, you and I were talking about it earlier that they're offering students to work on stuff like this now. And excuse me, that's how we got off onto the tangent of an emergency management.
Yeah, an emergency.
Because
management
this
plan,
kind of thing is available again now
yeah.
to have students work on projects. But so here's two Yukon
Yeah,
students.
It's really neat because it gives the
Oops,
students
shoot.
practical
Sorry.
experience working with towns.
This is a PDF.
So I thought it would be easier to to show
It's a-
conceptual. What they did was they put together some conceptual pictures of where they thought different stormwater practices could be installed. And I thought rather than Margaret trying to explain it, we can just show you the pictures.
So let's see what they
So,
came
yeah,
up
so we
with.
Kind of just scroll through it fast. I don't think we. need to-
Impervious covers increasing across the state of Connecticut.
Mhm.
Disrupts the natural hydrology.
Mhm.
MS4 requirements, municipal separate storm sewer systems permitting. The whole goal is to try to separate out clean water from sewage when we have big storms. Green stormwater infrastructure mimics natural hydrology, allowing stormwater to infiltrate and recharge rather than all running off when it's hot into the rivers and ponds. There's a diagram of a bioswale and a rain garden. Permeable paving allows infiltration of air and water. And also sometimes plants can be planted and grow up green in between these little pavers. Green roofs is the technology they're talking about using here on the back of Town Hall. Reduces runoff volumes. We have to check the structural integrity of the building first because they're heavy. How to pick sites. Okay, so they visited these sites to make sure which practices would go and where. How does water move on the property? Where does it drain to? Okay, so there is an existing rain garden on the let's see, that's the southwest corner of the library.
Yeah, it's like the Main Street side.
I love the idea of the elementary school tree box filter. It doesn't seem to have gotten off the ground, but those things do an amazing amount of cleaning of water.
Yeah, I
Dirty,
wanted
dirty
to
street
see
water.
there. Interesting one.
Okay, so here are the proposed sites for low impact development. The library's up at the top, I think. Then town hall and then the two schools. So there's a big patch of barberry growing right near the entrance to the library that is an invasive species. Tara's been hot to get rid of that barberry for a long time.
Mhm.
So that's where we would take out the barberry and plant a rain garden. It's about 95 feet from the river, so I'm sure the Wetlands Commission and I'm assuming that you folks would see that all of these as an improvement. I measured it, yeah.
Wow.
Well, I
thought
think
it
that
was closer.
I think I measured it right.
No, I believe you. The bank is pretty wide.
But you know, I don't know if it's too early, but when Tara only told me about this today, and they're applying for the grant tomorrow at noon, and I offered to write a letter of support. So if this commission feels that this is something that the commission would support, I would love to be able to just send in a brief letter saying
Yeah,
to that
that's fine.
effect.
And if you do that, I would also say that it also supports the recommendations of the French River Watershed Plan, because I think they pulled some of these out of the plan. That's a great idea. Thank you.
Okay, let me just make a quick support. French River. Okay. Oh, yes, a wonderful educational opportunity. You could put up a really good sign to help people learn about rain gardens. This is what it might look like when it's done.
How can you classify that as a rain garden when it's not really a spot where water collects?
Comes off
They're,
the gutters.
they're grabbing, yeah, the water from the roof.
The water from the gutters?
It's gonna be more sunk in the ground than this shows. This is just
Okay.
a quick representation. It's not gonna stick up out of the ground like that. So, almost 23,000 gallons of water would be treated here per year. Here's the roof upstairs. I guess they're only gonna do the right side to the entrance if you're walking in there. Even though the flat roof is on both sides of the entrance. 2,000 square feet of roof would have green vegetation. There's an existing downspout. They gotta verify the structural integrity, add a protective roofing layer. I think it's actually above my office there, back
Yeah.
in there.
Looks like it.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
So the roof is like behind, right in here. You can't, I don't think you can really see it. It's not this roof, it's a roof, there's a roof here. That you could, I've always thought it looked like a tempting place to sunbathe.
What are the plants that they grow on that?
I don't know, it looks like microgreens.
Sedums.
Because,
Yeah. 'Cause
my
it does
first
get hot.
teaching job was at South High School in Worcester,
Mhm.
and they didn't have a green roof, and they had trees growing out of their roof.
Not on purpose?
Not on purpose.
Okay, that's
And so I just,
structurally scary.
I know these are low maintenances, but they're not zero maintenance. Something's gotta happen, because once you've got anything that can be established, one little maple helicopter lands in there and you've got a maple tree,
Yeah.
or a birch tree.
Yeah,
or-
someone will have to do
It
that.
must be weeding.
So, it's not no maintenance, it's low maintenance, and that has to be taken into account.
It's like a sod house, sort of.
And there's some beautiful plantings down in New York City with that Highline Trail. That was
That's
built on a railroad
amazing.
tracks. And that's all shallow
Like
stuff.
sort of like a bridge with pot plantings on it. That's what this Quiet Corner Garden Club is doing too. That was in the paper. So they want to direct some runoff from a parking lot into a rain gardens here at Turtle Lot. That would be a rain garden where this
Where that
island is. Treating 150,000 plus gallons. Then at the elementary school, 2 rain gardens.
All of those or these suggestions?
Tara is planning on doing all of them as far as I know. That's what they're applying for the grant for.
All of them?
Right. That's, she's asking for the funding for all of them. Although I think I asked her if anything was gonna be cut. She said there was one thing in her email there I could look up. So here's another rain garden site. This is near Teague. Some of it is.
Are these rain gardens taking up existing parking space?
No.
Right now they're like islands. No,
Okay.
I don't think so. So here we go, 354,000 gallons a year. It's a lot of water. So this is the grant program, and there's the deadline tomorrow. Okay.
I'm sorry, Mike.
I didn't know you were gonna do it.
How do you sleep with the lights on?
I'm sorry, we'll wrap it up real quick. But don't sleep while you're driving home.
So that was that.
Thank you for pulling that up.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. I'm not sure how to get back to. I hope I didn't leave the
Just hit
meeting.
your Zoom icon on the bottom and click on it. Right there.
Thanks.
There you go. So I don't know. It's already 8:30. We can put this on the agenda for next month under old business and come back and revisit it. And I mean, if there's any other things that you can think of that you think we might like to do, that, you know, kind of align with Article 4, our powers and duties, add them to the list and we can talk about them.
Put it on under old business. I thought of a guest speaker I might be able to get and come and talk to the commission, which is, there's a professor named Elizabeth Ward at the gosh, let's see, the program that took over the DEEP tree seedling nursery there, gosh, I'm going blank. Anyway, she's studying changes to Connecticut forests, and she's a mycologist. And so she just spoke at a Opacum Land Trust meeting about, well, you know, the pressures on our forests right now and how they're changing and what we could, you know, try to do to help. And so I think she'd be interesting. I don't know if you'd
Yeah.
like to have a guest speaker sometime, but I think she's brilliant.
Are you thinking a guest speaker just to come to talk to us or
I think,
to?
yeah, I was thinking she could,
Oh, okay.
if you're interested in having, or if she's willing to talk to a group of this size, that I would certainly love to hear her talk.
Or we could have
Open it up for guests.
a public, yeah, just have it at the library maybe.
Have a conservation commission meeting and have her talk then, or have like a,
Just a special. open
Just
to
a
the
special
public.
meeting.
Maybe just do like a conservation commission,
host.
not a webinar series, but a conservation series, I don't know. Invite people to come and speak.
All right, let me just see what she says.
Don't quite know when, but. All right. Citizens' comments. We don't have any
No
citizens.
citizens.
Members forum, anyone have anything they want to share? Not tonight. Announcements. Next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, January 20th, 2025, 7 p.m. in the Town Hall second floor conference room, in person only, no more Zoom.
Right, so it's also on a Tuesday, not a Monday.
Okay, yeah, thank you for pointing that out.
And it's on the
All
second
right.
floor? Ah,
Right.
yes, that's right,
Yeah,
that's clearly
conference.
spelled out. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. If no one has anything else, I will adjourn the meeting at 8:31.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.